Guys, your players talked about kind of rounding their game to kind of playoff shape. To that end, how close do you think this group is to being playoff ready?
I think things change day to day and game to game. I think you're looking for stretches of games where you're playing the right things and doing the right things. That doesn't mean that, for the remaining games, everyone will be getting better and better and better until we're into the playoffs. I think there's always some ups and downs. One night it's this, one night it's that. Some night it's great, some nights nothing's great. And, the majority is to have a block of games where you like what you're doing out there and you're doing things the right way. I think we're playing fast. I think we're on the attack. I think defensively we've been pretty good lately. So there's lots of things that I like about our game as we're heading into the playoffs.
Does being first overall kind of factor into how this group into what you want this group to be going into the playoffs, or does that really not matter?
It's a funny question. You get asked that all the time when you're in the top 3 or the top 5.
Yeah.
And I always think it's kind of, an odd question. But if you're asking me if we want to win the game tomorrow, if that's what you're asking me, we sure do. And then if we go to the next day, if you're asking me if we want to win that game, we sure do. And if that leads to us being first overall, then that's the way it played out. We don't talk about being first overall. We haven't mentioned it. We talk about winning games and collecting points. And then I love the comments when it says, you don't want to be there because of this or whatever. And like, all right, well, let's lose some then. Let's, tomorrow, let's take this one off. We'll just leave these points behind to stay clear of that mark. And so I just find the whole thing kind of, we're going into the game tomorrow to try and beat a really good hockey team and try and collect those 2 points. So that's the objective. And I suppose if we were to do that consistently through the remaining games, there's a chance that might happen, but that's not what we talk about.
Are you somebody who looks at the standings often?
I look at the standings just to see who the top teams are, where the playoff teams are, where that wild card spot sits, and who's moving up and down. I look, yeah, sure, I look at it.
This week,
I think everybody probably looks at the standings, right? Yeah.
When you come off with a game against a good Winnipeg team, like Boston, and you have
It's great. This is great competition for us right now. You can go past, that when we come off. I think Philadelphia's in there, Colorado's in there. These are good hockey teams, and so all of that's great as we move down the stretch and we start to try to play that consistent brand that I talked about, getting ready for playoffs, so that when you enter there, you feel like you can go play some consistent stretches of hockey through the playoffs as well. But certainly some good opponents, some tough opponents, and that's a good thing for us, I think.
Just out of genuine curiosity, with the GM meetings going on right now, is there any rule or change that you'd be interested in seeing? Or
I don't really offer too. I think, me personally, I think the game's great. I love it. It's fast. It's got so many great things. It's delivered. Everybody loves watching it. And it's delivered the right way. It's got great people playing the game and selling the game and reporting the game and delivering the game through the TV. I think it's really good. I'm sure there's always some changes, and sometimes you go, what are we doing that for? And then sometimes you say, well, you know what, that was pretty smart. So, but I didn't send in a list.
Rempe just talked to us.
Yeah.
You can see he's very genuine on his feelings about what happened and trying to play above the line. Have you had conversations about, you don't want to change your game, but you want to play this way?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked to Matt about a whole bunch of different things, from all the stage fighting that he was doing at the beginning to hitting and clean hits, and talk about the game itself and how to become a good player with the puck, without the puck, defensively. So there's, I mentioned this before, there's constantly conversations, meetings, video that goes on with the players, and certainly a young player like him. But it's nice to have him back and available. You can just watch him out there today and see his speed and his size, the way he handles the puck, and continues to look to get better inside of the game. And so, but there's always conversations about everything, not just the game, but about fighting or hitting or whatever. He's got to play his game and do his thing. Don't get me wrong, but we're also trying to help him and teach him a little bit too.
I don't know if you want to confirm if he's going to be in tomorrow, but just if he is, what do you hope that he learned from this 4-game suspension?
I think that he probably goes back and when we look at that hit and he realizes that he's got to make sure that, I mean, he likes to hit. He's a good hitter. And so he's got to make sure that he's doing things the right way. And there's been, so that one got away. Every other hit has been pretty good. They've been heavy and physical, and he brings that presence to the team, and that's, a part of the reason why he's here is because he can bang bodies. He's also been a good hockey player for us as well. And so, when he does come back into the lineup, we'll look for those same elements.
As you weigh decisions moving forward,
Yeah.
I know you're always, tweaking lineups or whatever.
Yeah.
But with him in particular, as you look ahead to playoffs and
Yeah.
the kind of impact that he's capable of making,
Yeah.
is it important for you to see that he can reduce the penalty minutes a little, or what are the things you need to see from him to really feel like he's ready for that kind of a role?
Yeah. Has he taken a lot of penalty minutes?
Yeah, I know.
No. That's not what
It's a lot of fighting.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he takes 2 5-minute penalties for fighting, there's nothing that's hurting the team there. So, I necessarily don't think that he's taken a lot of things that have put us. The last one, we taught, we teach. Like I said, the one before in New Jersey, it was a real hard hit. Nobody likes to see anybody get hurt, but I think it got reviewed and they said, yeah, there's really nothing here other than a big man hitting hard. And so I think he's done a pretty good job with his discipline. And when he doesn't, like last time, we try to teach him and show him and make him better in all areas.
Yeah, so the fighting stuff is kind of separate.
Yeah, I mean, those minutes don't have anything to do. And to be honest, I'm not sure, maybe he wanted to do it anyway, but a lot of those they came right off the bat. He didn't even play 10 seconds and he was in one. And so they started in warm-ups.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the things we're talking about too. Like, you can't go fight everybody that you hit. You know what I mean? You have to play your game, do your thing. He's got no restrictions, but at the same sense, I don't think it's smart to, on second number one, I'd like to see him go play the game and establish his game out there, and there's always things that happen. And I think he's done a pretty good job.
Were you pleased on that note of kind of the restraint of
Yeah.
McDermott wanted to fight him?
Yeah, I know, but for a hit that we thought was just a good, clean, hard hockey hit,
Yeah.
and he can't go. I don't think he should just drop the gloves every time he hits somebody. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he will. He doesn't mind. He wants to. He likes to. But we're trying to say, go play your game. Stay on the ice and play your game. Be an effective player for us as well. Not just talking specifically about that incident or the things that have happened with New Jersey. Just in general. You watch some of the things that have happened out there. Go play your game, and things from there. I'm sure things will happen, and I think Matt's pretty comfortable in a lot of situations.
Did you think anything of the comments after about the code? I don't know if you heard the comments from McDermott, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on other players and what they. I'm just telling you how we go about trying to talk to a young player and teach a young player. He's done a good job of bringing his elements of physicality in whatever dimension that is. He's done a good job of trying to learn the game. I'm sure that he'll continue doing those elements, because that's what he's good at. He likes to do.
And you joked about it a little bit before about being first and wanting to win everything and whatnot. But when you took this job, this summer, if someone told you at this point in the year you guys would set a record for days spent in first place, losing Filipino, losing Lakewood, there's been so much adversity throughout the entire year, and you guys haven't wavered at all. Has there been anything that has exceeded your expectations from the day you took the job?
I like the way our guys compete. I watch practice out here today, and I watch us. We're coming off of a game, and we go out for almost 30 minutes. The guys went fast and hard at each other, and I think that helps build an identity in who we are. And so, I don't know if it surprises me. I'm just glad we bought into that concept of that compete every day, because I think that translates. You are what you eat, and if you are that every day, then that's what you are, So I thought that's been good, but yeah.
That was poetic, I like that.
All right.
Thank you.
On that note.